This is our part 1 of our trip to Ireland, and it started off with us flying from Vancouver Island, British Columbia, transferring with Icelandair to Reykjavik on Iceland, where I lost my phone briefly and they found it, all the way to Dublin, Ireland. With very little sleep, we dumped our stuff in our hotel and we started just wandering through the city of Dublin itself, taking in all the cool things, including civil defense just out, on the river. There are amazing buildings, churches, cathedrals, parliaments. It's just an amazing city. It's the first for all three of us, Nelson, myself, and my cousin James, who you will see in quite a few photos and video. We went right downtown. This is March 16th, the day before St. Patrick's Day. So as you can see, it's all dolled up and ready to party. We never did go to Temple Bar. We were advised by locals not to, so we're gonna listen to what the locals say. But one thing we did was have fish and chips. And of course, a pint of Guinness. The very next day was officially St. Patrick's Day, or St. Paddy's Day as they say in Dublin. This is the day we decided to wait 3 hours to get front row seats to the parade. Man, we were so happy we did, as I'm showing you right now, just the gradual progression of how many people showed up. There was over 500,000 people in total watching this parade. We joined over 500,000 spectators who we all gathered to watch and witness this parade and its participants, including marching bands from all across the world. And as you will see, there were like over 12 that were just from the United States alone. Like, that's crazy. And some of those bands had almost like 150 people into it. Thunderous displays of music and pageantry and extravagantly dressed performers, troops of color, cascading dancers, and spectacular displays of extravagant floats, some of which you'll see. We can't figure out why. Why a lizard? Not sure. Muggles that we are, we have no idea what this is about, but it's cool. The theme of this year's festival and parade was each tray, I think that's how you say it, which is the Irish word for adventures, which represents the unique essence of Ireland and of Irish people. And oftentimes, it's the reason that people from all over the world, just like us, have a special place in our hearts for Irish people, place, and culture. The waiting for 3 hours was worth it. This was the best parade I think any of us have been to, and now it's out to explore for the rest of the day. We decided to pop into the Church of St. Augustine's and John the Baptist. Stunning, spectacular, just beautiful, very, very peaceful. This large Catholic church was opened 1874 on the site of a medieval St. John's Hospital, which was founded in 1180. It is served by the Augustine Order of Friars. Then we were off to visit the National Gallery of Ireland, home to many Picassos, Monets, and Renoirs, just to name a few. Founded in 1854 and opening its doors 10 years later, this is the National Gallery of Ireland, which houses the national collection of Irish and European art. Then it was off to visit Trinity College of Dublin, officially titled the College of the Holy and Undivided Trinity of Queen Elizabeth near Dublin. This is the University of Dublin in the Republic of Ireland. Founded by Queen Elizabeth I in 1592 through a royal charter, it's one of the ancient universities of Great Britain and Ireland. Trinity contributed to the flourishing of Irish literature throughout the Georgian and Victorian eras. Trinity College also holds the Book of Kells, which we're going to talk about next. Built during the 18th century, the Long Room hosts approximately 20,000 remaining books. This is the main chamber of the old library. The vast majority of the library's 200,000 oldest books have been carefully removed and are undergoing a major conservation project at the moment. Marble busts line the Long Room, a collection that began in 1743 when 14 busts were commissioned by sculptor Peter Shearmakers. The busts are of the great philosophers and writers of the Western world and also of those connected with Trinity College Dublin. This illuminated globe in the Long Room of the Book of Kells is a sculpture created by British artist Luc Girram. It depicts the Earth as seen from space, highlighting its beauty and fragility.
No one knows exactly how old it really is, though scholars believe it is from around 800 AD and began life on the lonely Isle of Iona in the Scottish Hebridean Islands, in the monastery that the Irish monk St. Columba founded there. Here, beside the sea, he established his community of monks, a school for missionaries, and a scriptorium, in which the Word of God was written on vellum. The book contains the 4 Gospels from the Christian New Testament in Latin. Masterfully illustrated, its making was itself an act of devotion to God. The book is vibrantly colourful. Elaborate Celtic spirals combined with images drawn from Christian beliefs. On its pages, fantastical intertwining creatures inhabit the same world as animals that the scribes might have seen every day. Texts in a similar style were produced in monasteries influenced by the Irish Church across Europe, but the Book of Kells is seen as the finest example of them all. The text was written using natural inks and pigments, and it is believed that just a few scribes were involved in writing all the words that the Book of Kells contains. But the book was made in dangerous times. Viking raids were frequent, with many battles and much destruction. In these early days, the Vikings were devotees of their own Old Norse religion, and they had no care for Christian symbols or communities. Nothing was safe from their attacks, which came with little warning. At first, the monks of Iona endured these destructive raids, but at last they risked all and fled across the stormy seas to Ireland, carrying the book with them. A single wave could easily have swept them and the precious book away, but they were fortunate. They came to Ireland's east coast, where they were greeted by gentle green countryside, a place of farming communities. Still in search of safety, they travelled 30 miles inland, to a new Columban monastery at Kells in County Meath. The book became part of religious life in Kells, and it was revered as a great relic. It's even possible that work on the book continued there, but it proved no safer. The book was stolen, thought lost forever, and then found months later buried underground. Its casing, which is believed to have been ornamented with gold and jewels, was never seen again. But thankfully, the rest of the book survived. Returned to the church at Kells, the book remained there until civil unrest meant that it was safe there no longer. In 1661, the Bishop of Meath gifted it to Trinity College, Dublin, where it remains to this day. Scholars and visitors alike have studied it ever since, contemplating its meaning and ever in awe of the beauty of the world-famous manuscript.
The Book of Kells is a must-see, must-do. It was getting close to dinner time and we thought we'd just go out to the streets, wander around, which you can see was very packed. And we ended up at a local pub, non-touristy. We wanted to participate in the spirit of St. Paddy's Day, so of course checked out the cocktail menu. We had a few whiskey sours as well. We had a few Irish flag shots. It was a great time and a great day. After a few shots, we found some local entertainment. It was awesome. On the next episode, James, Nelson, Monty, and myself head to Blarney Castle. Where you guessed it, we all try our hand at kissing the Blarney Stone. You know, the one that gives you the gift of the gab? Like any of us need it, but we did, and it was super fun. While driving, we also pulled off to the side of the road and found ourselves in the Killarney National Park, which was wonderful. This was so beautiful, and if you think of Ireland, you think of green, and well, we found a lot of green and waterfalls. And then it was off to the Cliffs of Kerry. This is a stunning location, and you guys, when we went, there was hardly anybody there. Perfect timing. We head to Cromwell Point and visit the Valentia Lighthouse. It was really great to see how lightkeepers lived at these very remote locations. And then we check out the eighth wonder, Valentia Transatlantic Cable Station, that reveals the astounding story of transatlantic cable laid between Valentia and Newfoundland, Canada. Thank you so much for hitching a ride with us, and we look forward to sharing with you part 2 of our fantastic trip to Ireland.